Hi guys. So last night I was sleeping and there was rain, there was wind, there was thunder, there was lightning, and I'm thinking, you know what? There's a really bad storm outside and I'm afraid that our power might go out. Why did I care, right? I'm sleeping, it's the middle of the night, it's summer, so everything's okay. But here's the problem. If the power goes out and it stays out a really long time, then guess what? My phone dies. If my phone dies, I don't have an alarm. I don't get up. That's not a good thing. So what I thought I would do is kind of scope it out now that it's quit raining for a little bit and see if I can find some things that are causing some problems, possibly with our electricity, and then maybe I can call them in and have somebody come check them out. So let's go look around. Okay, so when you're looking at electricity in your neighborhood and around you, you can tell that the power is on. You can see behind me these lights are on. It's getting dark outside. And what we want to look at is some of the components that get electricity to our house. So here's one of the things that you can look at and make sure there's no problems with and make sure it looks okay. All right, so here's a power box. You can see some things about electricity that you need to be aware of. This says warning, keep out, notice, and you see a problem here? Do you see on this poster where it says that bushes have to have a 10-foot clearance all around the box on the front and the back, and then on the sides it has to have 3-foot clearance? Well, look at this problem. Here's a bush coming up here, behind it, on this side. That doesn't really look like 3 feet to me. I think that's a problem. So what do we need to do about that? I'm not sure. Okay, so now that we've found where the power is at the street, and we know there's a problem there, I need to call and ask them, is it really okay that those bushes are all around that box? Or is that something I need to take care of, or do I need to call someone? So I'm noticing that there's no poles on the street. There's no light poles with the wires hanging across like I'm used to seeing. So I can check out that there's no wires dangling from the storm last night that the winds blew down. So now I got to look around and find out, where does the power come into my house? So let me go around on the side where I know that they have some wires and things that we've had to work on before, and let me check that out. Okay, so here's the side of my house, and I know from when we moved in, we had some people come out and check this meter. This is how they make sure that our power is running, and we can see that the company is called Sony EMC. And there is a lock right here on the bottom, and it says do not cut. Okay, so that looks very secure. There's one on the bottom here that looks very secure, so that all looks safe. There's wires coming out of here that I know not to touch, especially if it's wet outside. And I noticed that this box that also says warning on it is kind of popped open. Now on the bottom, they've hooked this with a tie to kind of cover it up, but there's no lock like the one on the top. And when I open it, I can see there's some wires kind of sticking out. Now I'm not sure if this is electricity, this might be cable, I'm not sure. It is covered from the water. I'm just going to put it right back down the way it was before. And we can cover this back up, but it does say warning on the front as well. So that's something that we probably need to keep an eye on as well in a storm like we had last night. I'm looking at this power meter a little more closely, and you can see that the numbers at the top are moving. So that means our power is on. It's working properly. And if not, then I know that I should call. That tells me the name of the company to call. So that's probably the people that I need to call about our other box issue that I saw earlier. Okay, so now that I've checked everything out for this evening before it gets dark, and we're expecting storms again tonight, I know there's a couple of things that I need to look at in our neighborhood, make sure they're safe. I know that I don't have any power lines up in the air that could blow down in a storm, so we're safe in that regard. And I know that on the side of the house I've located the place that if I have a problem I can go and check and see if our power's running, if it's maybe something that has been hit by a tree on the side of our house, and then I can call the company and I know what company to call. So I've checked all the area, made sure I can be as safe as possible, and now I know what to do in case of an emergency in the middle of the night like I was afraid of last night.